Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hey, guys.
And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, now?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment, as the broadcast yells in my ear and throws me off. Because that's what YouTube does now. Stuff. Hello, everyone. Hello, chat. Hope everyone has had a good week so far and has a good weekend ahead of them. There was something I was going to say, but it has escaped me. It'll probably come back later. Oh, yeah, that's right. Satsu has my face on a cup now.
I do, and I'm a little annoyed because the people who delivered it, the mail people, when Squishy looked out the window, she said she literally saw the lady just like throwing the packages into the hallway. So it's a little chipped on the other side.
No.
And I was like, you fucking bitch.
Darn it.
But I didn't plan on using it anyway. I was going to put it on display because I'm starting to get a little collection going on or whatever. So I was like, cool, it's still awesome. And the side that says got it is fine. So.
And now did the logo on the other side turn out okay? I didn't see that part.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Good. Excellent. So, yes, that's the first I've seen of those mugs. I haven't actually ordered myself one yet. I'm not quite that vain, I suppose. Or, basically sending myself a couple of bucks worth of money. Let's see. But anyway, how are you, Satsu?
Pretty good. Hung out with Squishy all day. Today was her day off, so that's what I did.
Good. Monkey, how are you?
I'm Monkey, but I'm a little happy because my daughter and granddaughter came up, so I got to see them. But at this moment, I'm Monkey. So.
And I got to say hi to Grand Monkey, thankfully, because what was it? She walked in the room and was looking for me.
She looked around my room, which I've arranged since she was last here, and she went, "What?" And she looked a little bit. She goes, "Where's Scribe?"
Because I basically live in the computer now.
You live in the computer.
Let's see. Dark Allow says, so Scribe, you're too sexy, or your mugs so sexy it hurts. The mug cannot contain my power, I guess. Thank you, Dark Shade. You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I'll bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? Now, see, I'd sing that, but I'd probably do it so accurately I'd get a copyright strike. Because I'm that good of a singer. Thank you, Connor Johnson. Do you plan on seeing Shazam in theaters? I don't plan on it. I wouldn't turn down the option if I had it, I suppose. It's not a movie that I've the trailers don't make me think blah. And I've heard pretty good things. At least it's not taking itself too seriously, unlike every other fucking DC movie. So
yeah, all the reviews said it was shockingly fun. Like it was one of those just like lighthearted, wow, this was a comic book movie.
God forbid. God forbid a DC movie actually be fun a little bit. Like, Superman should have been a nice guy instead of a fucking city killer. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. My Friday was thankfully very short. I got all my work done really early, and I was like, I'm done. So I'm just going to leave now. And I did, because I'm an adult like that. And I have 167 hours of vacation time I can't use. So I take it when I can.
There you
go. Anyway, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already, and about 3/4 of you have not, or 2/3 of you, I guess I should say, is a better number given the ratio right now. And please share our stuff, far, wide, and sideways. You guys are far better for us than YouTube in that regard. Let's see. Are you guys streaming tonight, or have you waved that off?
Yeah, we're playing Sniper Elite, trying to finish that up.
Kill some more Nazis.
Indeed.
So who's the better sniper so far?
The other day. So far, it's turning out to be me, but that's because Monkey keeps dying.
Yeah, well, he does that.
Because Monkey's just like, you're supposed to run away from the bullets? Huh.
That was an amazing falsetto you just hit there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else before we begin, gentlemen?
Nope.
Monkey?
No.
Okay. Well then, let's get on to some breaking news.
Oh shit! I love news that breaks.
Court rules district judges cannot make grand jury records public. The Federal Appeals Court in Washington, D.C. sided with grand jury secrecy on Friday, ruling that federal district judges don't have the power to make the grand jury's records public, even in historically significant cases. The decision has major implications for the release of grand jury records, especially at a moment when the lower federal court in Washington has been asked to make grand jury information related to the Mueller investigation public. In the case of special counsel Robert Mueller's probe and related grand jury records, Attorney General William Barr said he is working with the ongoing special counsel to redact confidential information from the grand jury from Mueller's final almost 400-page report, which will be released publicly this month. But transparency organizations and House Democrats have already indicated they may challenge Barr with court action and political posturing. The ruling Friday throws a possible curveball into those strategies. Possible? Possible. Okay. Most recently, a federal court denied making the name of a company public in a Mueller grand jury proceeding, and the grand jury Mueller used since 2017 continues to meet, even gathering briefly in the federal courthouse Friday morning. The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals on Friday split 2-1 in its grand jury secrecy decision, ultimately siding with the Justice Department in a case brought by researcher Stuart McKeever seeking records from 60 years ago. The power of sharing grand jury records largely rests with the executive branch of government, specifically prosecutors, because grand jury proceedings happen at arm's length of the judicial branch, the appellate court found, citing previous appellate decisions in its reasoning. This goes on for quite a long time else, but that's the long and the short of it. Thank you, Dark Shade. I saw Deadpool 2 last night, and damn, do the SJW moments ruin it. I haven't seen Deadpool 2, so I don't know. If you guys see it?
Did I see 2? Oh, yeah, I think I did see 2.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't.
Oh, go ahead.
I didn't think it ruined anything. I teach them.
I thought it was kind of funny. I don't know, like lately the SJW moments, like they were pointing out in Spider-Man and whatever, they made them funny. So I was like, it was a joke. So I laughed.
Yeah, I didn't bother to go see it because nothing about the trailer really made me think this is any different than the first one, except Cable's in it. So it's like, okay. And I mean, I've seen clip compilations on YouTube now of all the best parts. So, save myself some money. And thank you, Terry Diamantes. Lords of the Night for news as broken as Satsu's mug. Oh.
I mean, it's usable. I could still use it. It's just, I just noticed it and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. It's a conversation piece, not a coffee cup. But anyway, yeah, so trying to release the entire Mueller report unredacted has probably died. Which it probably should have if there's secret information in there or names of people who aren't actually guilty of anything but just ended up being swept up in the whole investigation. So I'll be curious to see if the Democrats challenge that and how they challenge it now that it's been decided on a completely separate case and created as precedent. What was that? Was that beep me or was that beep you guys?
That was over here. I turned my space heater off.
Okay. Just making sure because I hear strange noises, I think. Uh-oh, problems.
Detonation in 5.
No! Let's see. So do you guys like international espionage?
Yes.
Do you like overly expensive resorts in Florida?
No, because I can't go to them.
Oh, well, then I sort of have a story for you. Pompeo suggests Mar-a-Lago breach tied to Chinese espionage. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said Friday that the recent arrest of Yujing Zhang, the woman who allegedly breached security at President Donald Trump's private Florida club while carrying Chinese passports and a flash drive containing malware, is an example of the threat Beijing poses to the U.S. Pompeo declined to provide additional details related to that claim during the interview on CBS this morning, but did say, quote, "I think this tells the American people the threat that China poses, the efforts they're making inside the United States, not only against government officials, but more broadly," unquote. CNN reported on Wednesday that the FBI had begun investigating the possibility that the incident at Trump's Mar-a-Lago property was an espionage effort. The U.S. official who confirmed the espionage probe said the FBI is doing what it has to do in these circumstances when there is a foreign national involved and a possibility of counterintelligence or cybersecurity issues. Trump dismissed concerns about the incident when asked about potential Chinese espionage on Wednesday. Quote, "No, I'm not concerned at all," unquote, he said. The president described it a fluke situation, praising both the Secret Service and the receptionist who stopped Zhang. Quote, "The result is they were able to get her and she is now suffering the consequences," he said. While the FBI has not yet disclosed whether the incident is related to Chinese espionage, Pompeo said Wednesday that investigators are looking closely at that possibility and suggested the breach could be connected to China's broader efforts to steal American intellectual property. Yep, they want those early copies of Endgame, everybody. They can make DVDs out of them over in China. Let's see. Cynical Lindsay says, first it was the Russians, now it's the Chinese. Is there any country that hasn't supposedly meddled in our election? Well, I don't know if this was election meddling. We don't know exactly. If it is espionage going to his resort, not quite sure what they're wanting to get out of his resort, but yeah. Maybe his tax returns.
Dude, get out of my head. I was just about to say that.
Yeah. I got some internet fucketry on that later because, man, the tax returns thing. Let's see. Do you guys like Wiener?
No.
Oh. Well, I got a story about him anyway.
All right.
God. In the continuing saga of the saddest man in the world. So when this came out today, I reflexively thought, I really should watch that Anthony Weiner documentary again. If you go on Hulu, you can find it on Hulu. I think you can find it elsewhere too. But anyway, it's just called Weiner. And it is a portrait of a man who was at the heights of personal accomplishment. I mean, they go over in the first 5 minutes sort of like who this guy was, where he was at in the world, his life. He couldn't ask for really more in life, and he completely destroyed himself. Notch by notch, hit every branch down the tree, and here he is now. Ex-Representative Anthony Weiner ordered to register as a sex offender. Former Representative Anthony Weiner was ordered Friday to register as a sex offender as he nears the end of a 21-month prison sentence for having illicit online contact with a 15-year-old girl. A New York City judge designated Weiner a level 1 offender under the state's version of what's known as Megan's Law, meaning that he is thought to have a low risk of reoffending. Weiner, a once rising star in the Democratic Party who served nearly 12 years in Congress, has been living in a halfway house since February after serving most of his sentence at a prison in Massachusetts. He is due to be released May 14th, but still faces 3 years of court supervision. Weiner, 54, must register for a minimum of 20 years. He is required to verify his address every year, notify the state within 10 days of moving, and visit a police station every 3 years to have a new picture taken. Because of his low-level designation, Weiner's information won't show up in the state's online sex offender registry, but will be available via a toll-free telephone number. So it's practically the same thing. Weiner didn't attend Friday's court hearing. Messages seeking comment were emailed to his lawyers. Weiner pleaded guilty in May 2017 to transferring obscene material to a minor. Prosecutors said he had a series of sexually explicit Skype and Snapchat exchanges with a North Carolina high school student and encouraged the teen to strip naked and touch herself sexually. At his sentencing, Weiner said he'd been a, quote, very sick man for a very long time, unquote, and said he had a sex addiction. Anthony Weiner's story is a profile in just amazing self-destruction. So somebody has already, and there will be more books written about this guy, because just the number of things that he affected. His stupidity not only ruined his own life, it ruined his marriage. It probably helped, or at least it didn't really assist the Hillary Clinton campaign, because his situation ended up affecting the campaign of Hillary Clinton, because his wife at the time was Hillary's closest aide, and the FBI was looking into his computer in his case, and they found stuff that might have pertained to Hillary at the time in emails that ended up on his computer that were supposed to be confidential. This guy is just a living disaster area. It's fascinating to me. It's just amazing. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you, Corey Suzuki. Wiener or loser? Oh, he's a loser. So many ways he's a loser. But anyway, so Anthony Weiner, fall from grace. What can I tell you? Let's see. I got a sort of an update to a story we talked about a couple of nights ago. You remember the lady in the mall who accused a guy of like trying to kidnap her kid?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was an immigrant or whatever. So, in a turnaround, West Virginia mother is charged in false abduction report.
Yikes.
A woman who told police that an Egyptian man had tried to kidnap her daughter from a West Virginia shopping mall was jailed Friday after the accusation unraveled, a police detective said. Barbersville Police Detective Greg Lucas said Santana Renee Adams was charged with falsely reporting an emergency incident, a misdemeanor that carries up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. The 24-year-old Adams turned herself in about 2 p.m. and was jailed after a magistrate judge set bail at $20,000. She was calm and quiet while she was booked and ignored questions from a throng of reporters waiting for her at the courthouse. Lucas said she didn't have an attorney yet. The charge capped a sensational tale of a mother using a gun to thwart a brazen abduction attempt that quickly fell apart amid inconsistencies. Adams initially told police that a man grabbed her 5-year-old daughter by the hair inside a clothing store Monday and tried to pull her away, but stopped when Adams produced a gun. A criminal complaint went into further detail, describing a frightening scene where a Middle Eastern man dragged the girl by her hair as she dropped to the floor. But the story started to crumble when no witnesses could be found, and mall surveillance video didn't match the woman's original statement. Upon additional questioning, authorities said Adams began changing her account. She later told investigators she may have overreacted and misinterpreted the man's intentions. Police said he may have simply been patting the girl on the head. Quote, "There's quite a bit that doesn't line up," Lucas said. On Thursday, authorities announced they were dropping charges against the man, Mohammed Fateh Hussein Zayan, a 54-year-old engineer from Alexandria, Egypt, who was in the area for work. He cried as he greeted family members upon his release from jail. Quote, "Unfortunately, as false accusations are becoming more prevalent in today's social media-driven society, we are losing our grasp on, quote, presumed innocent until proven guilty, unquote. And Mr. Zayan has been tried all around the world by the court of public opinion." Zayan's public defender attorney, Michelle Protzman, said in a statement Thursday to the Associated Press. Back at the police station, after Adams was jailed, Lucas had a moment to reflect. Quote, "It has been a long and sleepless week," he said. So, yeah.
She should probably get in touch with Smollett's lawyer.
I was about to say, it's like, I pulled a gun. I was so brave. I saved my daughter. Yeah, I'm a
How
hero.
do you... Because I think we talked about it at this time, or at least we've done it since, the whole head pat thing versus yank her by her hair.
Yeah.
That's not an easy mistake to make.
You know what she is? She's the female Tupac.
A racist?
No.
Oh.
Well, that could be it too. It's like, I'm going to get one over on these horrible, horrible people trying to kidnap my daughter out of a clothing store in a mall, because that's the best place to grab somebody by their hair and drag them away in front of their mother. Anyway, the last story I've got is a weird one. Family finds hidden camera live streaming from their Airbnb in Ireland.
I don't understand people that do Airbnbs, man.
Yeah, well. After arriving at their Airbnb in Cork, Ireland, a family from New Zealand made an unsettling discovery: a hidden camera live streaming from the living room. Neely and Andrew Barker from Auckland were in the midst of a 14-month trip around Europe. 14-month trip around Europe with their 4 children and niece. Do you guys not have to work or go to school?
They're probably blogging it.
Oh my God. They were in the midst of a 14-month trip around Europe when they arrived at the Airbnb property with their 4 children and niece. Once the family had unpacked, Andrew Barker, who works in IT security, that might be why I can afford it, scanned the house's Wi-Fi network. The scan unearthed a camera and subsequently a live feed. From the angle of the video, the family tracked down the camera, concealed in what appeared to be a smoke alarm or carbon monoxide detector. Quote, "It was such a shock. It was just a really horrible feeling," Neely Barker told CNN. She called Airbnb to report the camera. Quote, "They had no advice for us over the phone," she said. "The girl just said that if you cancel within 14 days, you won't get your money back," unquote. Next, Andrew Barker called the owner of the property. When confronted with the family's discovery, Neely Barker said the host hung up. Later, he called back, insisting the camera in the living room was the only one in the house.
Oh, that's reassuring.
Well, why didn't you tell them there was one in the house before they got there? Quote, "We didn't feel relieved by that," she said, adding that the host refused to confirm whether he was recording the live stream or capturing audio. The family relocated to a nearby hotel and called Airbnb the following day. Quote, "They still didn't seem to grasp the seriousness of the issue. They were treating it like a canceled booking," Neely Barker said. Ultimately, Airbnb's trust and safety team promised to conduct an investigation, and it temporarily suspended the listing. According to Neely Barker, Airbnb did not contact the family again. After she got through to them 2 weeks later, the company told her that the host had been exonerated and the listing reinstated. Interesting. It was only after she posted about the incident on Facebook and local New Zealand news stations reported her experience that the host was permanently banned, she said. In a statement, Airbnb told CNN, quote, "The safety and privacy of our community, both online and offline, is our priority. Airbnb policies strictly prohibit hidden cameras in listings." Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. "And we take reports of any violations extremely seriously. We have permanently removed this bad actor from our platform." Quote, "Our original handling of this incident did not meet the high standards we set for ourselves, and we have apologized to the family and fully refunded their stay. There have been over 500 million guest arrivals in Airbnb listings to date, and negative incidents are incredibly rare," unquote. Sure. Thank you, Sarah Plyer. "Hello, gang. Went to check my mail. Scribe mug. Got it.
Yeah.
Yay! Love and hugs for everyone. Send me pictures.
Hopefully your mail person didn't throw yours at your fucking door.
Yeah, no kidding. Hopefully yours isn't chipped. I want to see that logo. I saw Satsu gave me the side. I was actually kind of surprised how clearly that came out.
Yeah.
So I want to see the logo. Let's see. Well, while I'm talking about it, how about I put the link to the store in the chat in case anybody is dying to have a Scribe mug or a Scribe shirt or something. Since I don't really shill my stuff that much. I probably should, but I don't really. There you go. Let's see. That was the last story I had. Did you guys have anything to job out, or shall we move on?
We can move on.
Monkey?
No, we can move on.
All right. Well, guys, it's time for MSS News. If you've got news stories you'd like us to probably read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but I'll do my best as long as my voice holds out, because heaven knows I talk too much as it is on this show. And I did a show prior to this. We'll talk about that later. So let's see. The latest and the greatest we have from Massive Dynamics. And if the story will appear, Florida man freed from jail immediately breaks into cars in jail parking lot.
Are you fucking serious?
This guy is a winner. Seriously, it's time for an intervention with Florida man. The latest harebrained escapade in his incredible life is truly unbelievable. After spending time in the St. Lucie County Jail early Thursday following an arrest for grand theft and other charges, Michael Casey Lewis was finally free just after 9 a.m. So how did he enjoy his newfound freedom? By attempting to break into more cars in the jail's parking lot. Jail surveillance video shows Lewis looking into cars in the jail parking lot before getting in one vehicle and sitting inside for almost 3 minutes. He then got out of the car and went to other vehicles in the lot. When he was stopped by deputies, Lewis handed over a bag full of items he had taken from the cars he had just burglarized. The items included an iPhone, nearly $600 in cash, cigarettes, and a debit card. Lewis was arrested, again, this time on burglary, grand theft, and possession of stolen property charges, and booked into the jail, again. After a few hours, Lewis was freed on bond, again, and released from jail, where he left the premises without committing any further crimes. Yet. That guy is a winner. Thank you, Dark Shade. A Scribe light, pen, notepad, or candle? I'd be wary of doing a pen. I don't even know if Teespring does pens, because there's actually a company out there that sells pens with little flashlights on them called Scribe Light, which I have no affiliation with whatsoever, just for clarification. And so I'd be a little wary of that. As far as notepads or candles, I don't know. I got a couple of shirts and a mug is all I got right now.
Yeah, they do phone cases, tote bags, and the.
Oh yeah. I
was gonna get one of the goddamn, what do they call those things that you can hang it? Was it tapestry or some shit? I might be wrong. It's like a little sheet or whatever that you can get to hang up on your wall with your logo or something on it. You can get like bath towels and all kinds of shit. I've been thinking about some of that stuff.
I don't know that I'm quite. Yeah, I don't need to market myself in that way. A couple of shirts and a mug I think is decent.
Yeah, it's mostly for my third channel because it's like a family thing, and they want to share that stuff too or whatever. So we plan on doing like events and stuff. So it'd be nice.
Duck Dog says a Scribe Light pen would be appropriate. Well, then I suggest you go buy a actual Scribe Light pen. They'll probably appreciate the business. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Note: don't leave stuff in your car, even at a jail. Yeah, that's. Of course, there's you're kind of forced to, because there's a lot of things the jails won't let you bring in with you if you're visiting somebody. So, but just make sure it's secured. That's all. Let's see. This one comes from Frosted Glass. He didn't. Did he really? I guess he did. Trevor Noah to Bernie Sanders. Should old white men step aside?
Rhetoric, yes.
Yeah, it's true. In a topsy-turvy Democratic race packed with new, diverse presidential candidates, one familiar face has risen to frontrunner status, Senator Bernie Sanders. But when the liberal favorite sat down with Trevor Noah on The Daily Show Thursday, the host posed a question that's been on many voters' minds. Quote, some people, I love that, some people have said, all right, you have a diverse field, but it feels like the frontrunners are still old white men, Noah said, referring to Sanders and former Vice President Joe Biden, who has yet to announce his candidacy and probably won't at this point. Isn't this a time for you guys to step aside, unquote? After a quick joke in response to calling him old, Sanders replied, quote, I think the American people have to make that decision. Nobody else makes it. But I think it is appropriate for people to say, okay, who has been talking about this issue when? Who had the courage to go forward and at what time? He continued. It's important not to look at just personalities. It's got nothing to do with personality. I think in American politics in general, we do too much of that, unquote. That doesn't actually answer the question, but then you're a politician. I didn't know that being old, white, and male was a personality. Of course, I could believe it with Bernie Sanders.
Well, there was no way he could realistically answer that question without fucking himself. So
I know it's a trap. He should have looked at Trevor Noah in the eye and says, how about you judge people on their character, not the color of their skin? Trevor Noah.
It's a fair question.
Is it?
Well, based on their rhetoric, yeah.
When you run around, you got take Beto, for example, who's running around talking about how much white privilege he's benefited from and how it's time for a change.
Mm-hmm.
To him being the rich white leader.
Yeah.
It's a fair question of the side that keeps suggesting that being white and male is something that needs to be at least tamped down, if not stopped altogether.
Well, Bernie didn't do anything to assuage the notion, so I guess they think it's okay.
He didn't say hell no, did he?
Nope.
He sure didn't.
Moving on. That is an ad. That isn't a story. Okay, this one comes from Froggy. And I have to subscribe if I want to read this. The Des Moines Register. Hold on. Okay, let's see if I can get around this one too. Survey says yes, momentarily. So I have 6 free articles, but if I even get to your site, I have to subscribe. Okay, anyway. Police release images of 2 men accused of stabbing Des Moines McDonald's employee over an $11 drive-through order. Oh, Jesus. Des Moines police have released photos of 2 men accused of stabbing a McDonald's employee in the leg Tuesday night following a dispute about a drive-through order. Surveillance footage shows the 2 men just after 8:05 p.m. Tuesday inside the restaurant. Des Moines Police Sergeant Paul Parizek said the men pulled into the drive-thru and got into an argument with a 19-year-old employee. Parizek said they eventually entered the store where the exchange... Oh, it's the exchange. I thought it's they exchanged. The exchange escalated and a manager stepped in to try to defuse the situation. The manager eventually refunded the customers about $11 for their order and they left the store. The store manager told police that the suspects were regular customers and that they had called the victim a N-word when complaining about their order, according to the police report. When the manager left the employee... When the manager let the employee step outside to take a break, Parizek said the 2 suspects were still in the parking lot. A witness in the police report told authorities that the suspects tried backing over the victim, who then loudly kicked the suspect's back passenger door before they stabbed him. Great. The victim was being helped by people inside the McDonald's when the medics arrived, and there was a blood trail from the street into the restaurant. But they have not made any arrests yet and continue to investigate. I'll put the link in the chat on the off chance anybody recognizes those guys. Thank you, James Colley. Holy shit, Batman. The Paradise Pie is back. Life is fucking awesome. I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
The Paradise Pie? I don't know. Is that a McDonald's thing?
Maybe.
Do they have a pie called the Paradise? Let's see. This one comes from Mental Meanderings of an Older Mind. AOC, I'm proud to be a bartender.
But you're not a bartender.
You're not a bartender. It's not a way of life. It's a job, and you no longer have it. You're something else now.
Also, if you were proud to be a bartender, you wouldn't be a politician right now.
Now, if you said, I am proud to have been a bartender, okay, well, whatever that means, but you didn't say that, did you? Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez made it clear that she's proud of her humble roots.
That's different.
That's an interesting way to put it. While speaking at the National Action Network convention on Friday, quote, I'm proud to be a bartender, she said. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working retail. There is nothing wrong with preparing what your neighbors will eat, unquote. Critics, including President Trump, have tried using her previous bartender job as a way to detract from her influence as a rising star in the Democratic Party. Well, not to worry, Mr. President. She's doing that all herself.
Okay.
Let's see.
Real quick, I put a link into chat right there because the part that they're talking about here, they're missing the big story of this.
Her accent.
This is the one where she goes into ghetto accent, ghetto black girl accent. That is so fucking racist. If she went in front of Chinese people and started doing a Chinese accent, nobody would think that was cool.
Well, you know, she's Alexandria from the block.
Alexandria from the block. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting her to start snapping her fingers and doing the head bob.
Thank you, James Colley.
So condescending.
It's a dessert at Chili's. Oh, okay. I've never heard of it.
Enjoy it.
What is in a paradise pie?
Vagina.
Well, I was going to make the joke too, but you didn't need to just go there. Jeez. All right, we'll wait and see on that. But moving on from AOC, this one comes from Jack the motherfucking Cockring.
If I may, real quick, Atticrack says she tries to preach. Yes, if you've ever seen Coming to America and Arsenio Hall's preacher in that, watch that next to her giving this speech. It is sad. Like, oh, I've met black people before. I saw them on TV.
Oh my God. Every news site now, I get a pop-up that blocks the story unless I go through about 3 other steps or want to pay for a subscription. All right, so let's see. Again, Jack Cochran sent us this one from the Miami Herald. Panicky whites don't get to decide who's American. That's the headline. Panicky whites don't get to decide who's American.
They don't. The government does.
With preemptive apologies to grammarians everywhere, today we ponder the following question. Who is we? That syntactic atrocity. Oh, someone's being all fancy today. That syntactic atrocity is prompted by a recent colloquially between Laura Ingraham of Fox News and former GOP operative Patrick Buchanan. God, is Pat Buchanan still alive? Jesus. They were talking on Ingram's podcast about what they see as the impossibility of America absorbing more newcomers from what Buchanan called, quote, the second or third world, unquote. Then he dropped this gem, quote, African Americans have been here since 1619. They've helped build and create the nation. They're part of its culture and history, and yet we haven't fully assimilated African American citizens, unquote.
Well, Pat hasn't, but...
Yeah, Pat Buchanan's not exactly the champion of racial relations. Thank you, Chicago Mike. I know a little German. He's sitting over there. What movie is that from, everyone?
That one movie.
Monkey needs to know this.
Isn't that a Python movie?
No.
Oh, then it's missing me. I don't know.
Top Secret.
Oh, God. It's been a while since I've seen it, yeah.
Oh, my God. Top Secret. So good.
Red Letter Python movie's close enough.
Red Letter Media just did a review of Top Secret a couple of weeks back. It is so funny. It's such a good movie. Let's see. Okay. And so the author goes on. Their next paragraph is just the word we, question mark, in quotation marks. Presumably he means the country, which raises an obvious question. What does it say about America that black people have been here 400 years, helped build and create it, are integral to its culture and history, yet are still considered outsiders? Wait, you're relying on Pat Buchanan to represent America.
Yeah. They're like, the fact that he said that is fact. Now let's examine this as a 100% indisputable fact. Like, okay.
Here's something equally obvious. When Buchanan says we, he does mean America. But when he says America, he means white people. So now you're a mind reader. Okay, first off, again, Pat Buchanan, not the most reliable source on talking about race relations. 2, you're putting words in his mouth, quite literally. So, yeah. Not that he's the only one to rhetorically ostracize people of color. Journalists do it all the time when they use terms like evangelicals to refer to religious white people, Southerners to denote white people in Dixie, or working class to designate white people with blue-collar jobs, as if people of color did not go to church, live below the Mason-Dixon line, or punch time clock.
I have never heard those terms directly and definitively refer to exclusively white people.
Okay. Yeah.
Do they? I could be wrong. I just
okay. Who wrote this? This is Leonard Pitts Jr. I have no idea who he is. It doesn't even tell me what his. Let's at the bottom here. Nope, there's just a picture of him. Leonard, you are conjuring definitions into existence that are not readily there. You have interpreted Pat Buchanan's words. Now, you may be completely correct. I have no idea. But then neither do you. And now you're saying that broad demographic terms like evangelicals, Southerners, and working class only refer to white people. I don't know what to tell you, but anyway, I think I'm done with this one. This guy's really somewhere else.
It's hard to read these kind of stories, because it's like you want to address them and talk about them, but the people are being so disingenuous. You're just like, I don't even want to give this any attention because they're not even seriously making an argument. They're just spouting bullshit just for the sake of spouting it because they know the people who read it are going to listen to it.
No. I do not think he was being disingenuous. Let me make that clarification. I don't think this was bullshit for the sake of bullshit. I will give him the benefit of that he actually believes this to be true, that he was saying what he thinks is actual reality. He wasn't lying or being deceptive in that way. I just, when after you've read enough of an unreliable narrator, my brain just kind of takes a vacation because it's like anything else I'm going to read here, I'm just going to be dissecting for the next 20 minutes, and it's no point to it. But I don't think he was lying.
I think he was being entirely disingenuous. I think he said, "Oh, here's something I can throw a fit about, and let me see how many things I can stretch to try to make a point as I can."
Okay.
I don't think he believes at all that Buchanan speaks for all white people in America.
Zealotry makes a lot of people say a lot of things that they mean that are ridiculous. So that's why I'm willing to extend the benefit of the doubt that even though what he's saying is ridiculous, I don't think he's necessarily being deceptive in doing so. That's all I'll say.
Gotcha.
Let's see. No, let's see. That's weird. Okay, this one comes from Judge Death. Judge Death. State test required 10th graders to write from a racist point of view. Maybe this is the story I was trying to read the other night, but I was blocked because I didn't have a subscription. Maybe. Some high school students in Massachusetts were shocked last month when they took their statewide assessment exam. They were asked to read an excerpt from Colson Whitehead's 2016 novel, The Underground Railroad, and write a journal entry from the perspective of a character named Ethel. There was just one problem. Ethel is an openly racist white woman in the story about an escaped slave seeking freedom. Okay, the question was part of the English Language Arts Massachusetts Comprehensive Assessment System, MCAS exam, which was given to all sophomores in public schools beginning March 26th. Students must pass the MCAS to graduate. Max Page, not Max Payne, vice president of the Massachusetts Teachers Association, said students reported being deeply disturbed by the prompt. Quote, they really felt like they were being asked to basically write creative racist thoughts and put them into words for this character, Page said. This seemed like a disturbing thing to ask students, especially students of color, to do. Whitehead, who won the Pulitzer Prize for the novel, said he was, quote, appalled and disgusted by the assignment. Okay. Well, they pulled the question. They don't give us an idea of why it was put there. But I don't know.
The media and journalists do this every day. Every time they write a story about anybody who's white, they always create their own narrative of what that person was thinking, exactly what they meant when they said what they said, and how it's actually racist, giving us the translation of their actual thoughts and turning it into something else. I mean, making kids do it, that is weird, because it's just like, why would you want us to do that? But if America is as definitively racist and fucked up as you say it is, then those kids should have been like, oh, so just write down our normal thoughts. Shouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah, I mean, if this was an assignment in like an actual like writing class or something, where you're supposed to say, okay, this is a writing exercise. Put yourself in the mind of the character, write in the style of the author. If you did that for a couple of characters from a couple of different books that sort of ran the gamut of character types, that'd be kind of interesting, I suppose. I could see that as something to do. But maybe for like college students, if you're just doing a writing portion or whatever in an exam, I mean, it doesn't hurt anybody. It's just really weird. Like, why would you choose of all things that to use as your example? I don't think it's appalling and disgusting, even regardless of what the author of the book says, but it's odd. Let's see. Moving on. I'm getting through quite a few of these today. Oh, we're back to yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. Okay, I'll go back to the top. I'll refresh and see if anybody sent us anything else. Nope. Okay, well, then I will go on to things that people sent us that I'd already read stories from. Let's see. This one comes from Frosted Glass. White supremacy feeds on mainstream encouragement. That has to stop. Okay. On April 19th, 1995, I know where this is going, Timothy McVeigh blew up the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, killing 168 people and injuring another 684 in the deadliest act of domestic U.S. terrorism to date. A white supremacist, among other things, he was radicalized by what he regarded as excessive federal government power, U.S. foreign policy, and a constellation of bigotries and inadequacies too numerous to mention. He was sentenced to death and placed in a maximum security prison in Colorado. Okay. While he was there, McVeigh became good friends with Ramzi Ahmed Yusuf, who was in the next door cell. Yusuf, who trained in al-Qaeda camps in Afghanistan, had tried to blow up the World Trade Center in 1993. Yeah, a lot of people forget that there was an attack on the World Trade Center 8 years or whatever before the big one, because it didn't really do much except like blow up a parking garage, I think. And I think it killed 1 or 2 people, something like that.
Yeah, just car bombs that didn't do much.
Yeah, thankfully, at least at the time. Thank you, Dark Shade. How do these people write villains then if they get triggered over views they don't like? Well, that's what I was saying. If this was a writing assignment in an actual writing class to sort of project yourself into a different character type and write from their perspective kind of thing, that would make more sense to me than putting it as the writing portion of a standardized test. So, like I say, I don't think the assignment at its core is necessarily a bad idea, but it just doesn't seem like it was the right place for it, is all. Let's see. Moving on. Okay. Born within 4 days of each other, here were 2 young men, both unrepentant about their crimes and ideologies, even if McVeigh had ultimately been more successful in inflicting carnage and misery. Okay, he was executed in June 2001. Yusuf would later state, quote, "I have never known anyone in my life who has so similar a personality to my own as his," unquote. Okay, where are we going with this? It is presumably in recognition of the unity of purpose between terrorists who attach themselves to Islam and those who embrace white supremacy that the neo-Nazi terror group National Action has called for a white jihad. I've never heard of National Action. Inadequate young men brimming with rage and brooding resentment in pursuit of moral certainty, doctrinal purity, and a desire to make their mark on a world in which they feel increasingly superfluous and disoriented. They are made for each other as made for each other as Yusuf and McVeigh. Okay. Where are we going with this? I'm skipping
Where's
down.
this from?
This is the Guardian UK.
Okay.
Okay. White supremacy poses a serious and urgent threat to our political stability, social cohesion, and general security. White people are being radicalized at an alarming rate and in disconcerting numbers. The number of far-right terrorists in British prisons tripled between 2017 and 2018. Did it go from 1 to 3?
Can we back up just a minute?
Yeah.
Even if you want to play the McVeigh was a horrible racist thing, that's not why he did what he did. It wasn't a racial calling that led him to blow up the Murrow building.
Yeah, he killed a whole lot of white people.
He did so because of the way the government was acting.
From his perspective.
Fuck.
Yeah, but facts are
Well, no,
stupid.
not just from his perspective. I mean, we're talking about the shooting in the face of Randy Weaver's wife over.
Yeah, Ruby Ridge. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruby Ridge, Waco, which, I mean, at least they were a little more justified in doing, but this was Americans being murdered by their government. And to take that and to turn, oh, well, William McVeigh, he's he was, or not, Tim McVeigh, he was just this really stressed out, racist white guy. That's not what that was about, you dick.
Yeah, this is his terrorism was based on stupidity, but not that kind of stupidity. That's not it almost sounds like it's making an apologia for Timothy McVeigh. It's not. But if you're going to take something that was one thing and misconstrue it to fit your narrative, no. Okay.
There are people who've been racist terrorists, but he wasn't. I mean, God damn it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's not why he did what he did. You douche. The
You
person who wrote this, douchebag.
You could find much better examples of what you're trying to get at here than Timothy McVeigh. I don't know why you're bringing him up of all people.
Oh, I said it at the beginning. The worst terrorist act in homegrown terrorist act.
Yeah, domestic.
That's why.
I mean, he could have gone for Dylan Roof. That's a relatively recent one. He could have gone for I keep forgetting his name. The guy that shot up all the mosques in Sweden or whatever. I forget who he was.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the guy's name.
I'm Breivik. That's it, Breivik. I forget his first name. Anyway, okay, moving on. We'll do one more here, and then we will get on.
That seriously enrages me a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it dilutes the horror of the act for the reasons it was done by trying to take it and put it into a different box. Because, the Patriot movement, the militia groups and all their extremism and their government paranoia and all that other stuff, all that fueled them to do that in the first place is bad enough. To set it aside and say, oh, no, it was really about this. Well, you're actually giving cover to the entire fuel behind the act by saying it was about something else when it wasn't.
Yeah, excusing the crimes of another to push a narrative for one person.
Yeah, and if you want to see how the remnants of what fueled McVeigh and those other guys to do what they did, just look up Sovereign Citizens on YouTube. A lot of those videos about sovereign citizens are kind of funny, where they're being pulled over for traffic stops and they're claiming that they're not driving, they're traveling, and using all these magic words they think are going to get them out of parking tickets and things. But there have been people killed, police officers and others killed by people who think they are above the law and anti-government, etc. This is not a small issue, and that story, in a really quasi way, is sort of giving cover to anti-government sentiment, like insane, paranoid, violent anti-government sentiment, which is different than just not liking Trump. Well, depending on who you are, I guess. So one more here, and then we'll move on. This one comes from Jack the motherfucking Cockring as well. Court papers show Gillibrand's father worked for Nexium sex cult. I think we already knew that. Actually, in fact, I did already know that. So when was the story published? Today? Okay. Court documents revealed this week. Court documents revealed this week, confirm that the father of 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, once worked as a lobbyist for a secretive sex cult but left after the upstate New York group sued him, according to a report. I think I already knew that too. So just confirmed. This is all rumor before? Okay. The documents backed up previous accounts, that the New York Democrats' father, Doug Rutnick, worked for the Albany-based Nexium for 4 months in 2004 at a rate of $25,000 per month. Okay.
Yeah, I thought we had talked about this. I guess that it was just rumored before.
Yeah, 4 months, 15 years ago. Who gives a shit? It doesn't say.
Obviously, that has something to do with her campaign now.
I guess.
Stop making me defend people I don't agree with.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of things I can criticize Kirsten Gillibrand for. Her father working for some kooky cult for 4 months 15 years ago is not one of them. Anyway, thank you guys so much for all the stories. I'm glad we got through a good chunk of them today. Don't feel like I left anybody behind too much. But we're going to move on to YouTube time. Okay. Sorry, I got a message. So I will go first because I'm relatively brief. I worked some more on my next TEDx talk review. Wrote some more of my script. I'm about halfway through sort of live editing it and scripting it. Also, the next Familiar with the Matter will be this next Wednesday because of scheduling issues. My guest has work that will prevent them from showing up on Sunday. So then next Wednesday will be Familiar with the Matter at, let me double check when I said that would be, because I did say that earlier. Okay, so it'll be at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, or 4 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday, April 10th. And the subject will be Mall Security with Professor Chaos. I'll have a little reminder up on that in the next day or so. And other than that, and I was also on Ghost Poo podcast before this show. Sinatra very graciously invited me on, and Monkey joined me later. So we'll get to that momentarily. Also, a programming note. Granted, everything lines up next Tuesday when I host the show again. I will have a guest for us. Sophane.
Oh.
Sophane will join us next Tuesday. And yeah, so there you go. That's all my stuff. Satsu, how about you?
I got to edit a bit of my next cooking video. I put a picture of it over on Instagram and Twitter, I believe. I forgot to toss it. Oh, no, I did toss it in the Discord. I just did a little bit after. So I got to work on that just a little bit right before the stream. But after I was spending time with Squishy, I came back and saw that Bear and Drunkle sent me an invite to their stream, and I didn't get a chance to go because I missed it. I didn't see it. So hopefully those guys had a good time over there. But yeah, that's pretty much been my day. Watching movies with Squishy and got a little editing done.
Cool. Monkey.
I did the Monkey in the morning, and then I stepped over Scribe's appearance on Ghost Poo. It was funny, guys. I had to encourage Scribe to talk over the Ghost Poo guys. If you ever get the chance to stream with them, you have to do that because they won't shut up.
Yeah.
I have this instinct not to interrupt.
Well, see, you were acting like you were on our show where we actually stop and let the other person talk. You can't do that on that show.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not on there enough.
You gotta step on them.
I tried. I did okay.
No, you did great, man. You were awesome. It would have been nice if we had Satsu there so we could have actually crossed the streams and we could have just taken that bitch over because 2 of them are fucking English anyway. We beat them before.
Oh, Weebo Jones says, get over it, Scribe. You're a big boy and supposedly a dom.
To women, not to other men.
Wow. You cut.
I got you back there.
You cut to the quick, my dear. Yeah, well, being a dom is part of who I am. It's not all of who I am. And it's only part of me that sort of emerges under the appropriate circumstances.
Hang on. Mr. Adam says, whoa, don't cross the streams. That's the only part of that movie people remember is that you don't cross the streams. Why does nobody remember that that's how they saved the day?
I remember that that's how they saved the day. I mean, it was in theory, that like Egon and Ray were kind of like, well, it could do this or it could do that. I guess we'll find out.
It could be very bad.
Oh, Tailed feature. I love you, Scribe. I love you too, Tailed. My favorite Scotsman. Let's see. Weebo says that seems to me like an appropriate situation. Scribe Light. What to try to shout down to Brits and Sinatra on their own show? I don't know. I have respect for people when I'm sort of in their house, so to speak.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have that instinct, Weebo, but I do.
I will come in and pee on your couch.
That is unnecessary.
Well, just think about Drunko on our channel.
No shit.
Yeah, well, there's that too. Yeah, if you want to talk about turnabout as fair play.
Well, there was a moment I almost told Sinatra, you have to expect this from Drunkle, and I realize he streams with him all the time.
Yeah.
So he knows that.
Also, Tailed, if you're still listening, Galt Throttle. Fucking me. Okay, well, on to fucketry time then, I guess. I have one or two things here real quick. Let me find it because I have to go through my wonderful Twitter feed. So yesterday, Chris Cillizza, again, was sort of bitching about Trump not turning over his tax returns.
Oh, God.
And so I tweeted back to Chris. I said, Chris, give us 10 years of your tax returns. And then today, Jonathan Tamari, who is, let me verify what he is exactly. He is the national political writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer. Jonathan said on the Twitter machine, real quick, thank you, James Colley. Hell, Weebo, he can't do that on Lords of the Night when Bear and Drunkle show up on stream. That's probably true. Thank you, James. Jonathan said, the Trump effect. He's changing the rules for everyone. The next president may not go so far. The next president may not go as far when it comes to norm breaking, but that person can still push boundaries further than past presidents and claim they are still stopping short of what Trump has done. And I said, turning over tax returns is not a rule. It is a voluntary custom.
Thank you.
Sanders, they were talking about Bernie Sanders. Sanders is no more required to turn over his tax records than Trump is, or Beto is. If Congress wants to change the law, so be it. In the meantime, please give us 10 years of your tax records, Jonathan Tamari. You are as required to turn over your tax records as Trump is, so you're under the exact same onus, I suppose, aren't you?
Yeah, you better not say no.
That thing you read from them, it's fucking bullshit. Because it starts off with he breaks the rules and then he won't have to do the norms. Norms and rules are not the same thing.
Yeah. He's not acting like a normal president. And
he's not breaking the law in the way he's acted. Obama never had to release his taxes. Clinton, Bush, Reagan, none of them had to release their taxes.
Yeah.
And Carter, the idiot who started it all, and everybody's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, there's nothing for us to fucking gain from it other than go, ooh, look who they gave charity money to. Fuck off.
I couldn't care less who Bernie Sanders gave, what his tax returns say. I couldn't care less what Trump's tax returns say. Or Beto's, or Booker's, or Kamala Harris, anybody. I don't care. I don't care. It's got nothing to do with me. Unless you've got proof that somehow they've committed a crime, like they've tax fraud or something else, well, then go to the IRS and let them investigate. Aside from that, I don't care.
Oddly enough, that's who does investigate.
Yeah. If you've got proof of it, if you've got some suspicion that they've done something wrong, well, then they will investigate it. Otherwise, my public curiosity over their spending habits, like I say, I couldn't care less, honestly.
Did we read the article on this stream about the guy who was requesting Trump's taxes and his reasoning for it? He says he needs it so that we can show that the president isn't being held to a different standard. Like what?
How does that?
Wait,
I don't
you
know.
need his previous tax returns.
From 2013 to 2018, so that they can be sure that that everybody's being treated the same way.
Yeah, no, I bet you, I will guarantee you that Trump has avoided paying the same kind of taxes that you or I have paid. And you know what else? It's all legal. that is the sad truth, unfortunately, is that if you are rich and or if you have the right tax attorney, advisor, whatever, you can find all sorts of ways to avoid paying the kinds of taxes that normal people have to pay. That's why companies like Amazon and TV networks and everything have paid zero taxes for the last 20 years or whatever. And the thing is, as infuriating as it might be to the rest of us peons, it's legal. It may be infuriating, but it's legal. So,
but for Congress to be up there, the people who vote on fucking tax law, to be out there acting all upset because some rich guy doesn't pay taxes because they had loopholes. Loopholes are legally written into the law. This is the law. However, if this happens, that's what a loophole is. If you qualify for this, Congress wrote those. So anybody up there who's pretending that they actually give a fuck about that, give them the finger and tell them to get fucked, because they're liars.
Also, tell them that they are no longer able to use their loopholes because you know they're using them.
Anyway, so that was my fuckatry. Satsu, you got anything? Sorry, real quick. Thank you, Chicago Mike. We need Trump's tax returns from before he was president because reasons. Yeah, exactly. Just so they can find something that they can take offense to or show that, like, aha, see, he avoided paying these taxes or whatever, and therefore he's still rich, I guess. Anyway, that's it.
Nothing noteworthy. Like, some of the stuff that I did get into was just conversations about random shit on Facebook.
Thank you, Three-Sided Coin. Here's the worst part. 99% of America wouldn't understand them anyway. Tax returns, especially for the rich, are complicated and hard to follow. I do it every day, I know. And Three-Sided Coin, thank you so much for sending me pictures from the Dr. Pepper Museum. I posted a few of those on Twitter. You said you'd sent them earlier. I never got them. Or you posted them on Twitter. Either they went way down into my feed somewhere or whatever. I never saw them, but I got them now. I appreciate it. I really like the old time advertisements and some of the equipment and things. That's really cool. And thank you, Three-Sided Coin again. Hell, this Deutsche Bank thing has pissed me off. Of course, rich people overestimate the value of their assets. I deal with that stuff every day.
Oh, that is such a nonsense one. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
He said he had 55 homes when he only had 31 approved for sale.
Yeah.
Approved for sale. That doesn't mean the other ones weren't there and wouldn't be soon, you fucking dicks. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Three-Sided Coin again. No worries, you're awesome. Oh, well, thank you. You're awesome too. Appreciate it. I didn't even know there was a Dr. Pepper museum. I suppose there's a museum for just about anything that's got any traction.
We should have Three-Sided on again someday.
Sure. Monkey, do you have any fuckatry?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Always.
Oh, okay, good.
Even when I don't have any, you know I have some. All right, let's see what I woke up to this morning.
Oh, night tailed. Making
No,
it
actually,
what's wrong?
see it, tailed.
What's he got that's going awkward?
His wiener.
Okay. Go ahead.
I want to talk about something kind of cool. There's a song, and I forget the exact name of it. Little Nas. How do you say his name? I don't remember. It's like Old Country Road or something is the name of the song.
Real quick, thank you, Johnny Hellcat. So you're saying the pictures are just what the doctor ordered? Okay, yes. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat.
So Lil Nas, he wrote this song, and it actually went on the country charts.
Oh.
And Billboard pulled it down. Like, no, that's not country enough.
That's not country enough.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the song, but okay. All right, interesting.
So Billy Ray Cyrus comes along, is like, fuck that. And he has recut the song with Nas, and they're getting it back up the Billboard charts. Seeing rap and country come together makes me a happy person.
Are you saying that a white man had to help a black man succeed?
In country, yeah.
There's a great band on YouTube. Speaking of like rap and country, I'm gonna put this both on the chat and on Twitter. If you guys haven't heard this song before, when you get a chance, don't have to do it right now. It's a band or it's a group or whatever called Urban Country, and it is fucking sick. Like this song in particular, "Gonna Need a Grave." It's like dark, like gritty country with like revenge and shit. Oh, it's great. It's awesome. I'll tweet it to you guys in a second. But yeah, anyway, that's for later. But when you guys get a chance, it's a great track. So when you said like rap and country together, I'm like, oh, I've heard some good rap / country or urban country before. They're great.
Well, this is this one here. You get to hear a little bit of the song. I don't have the actual song, but I just thought it was cool for Billy Ray Cyrus to step in and help here, and he got a lot of love for it today, man.
Good.
People were all over. Like, he was trending when I woke up, and like, why the hell is Billy Ray Cyrus trending?
Oh, I saw that too. I just didn't think to
Yeah, that's what it was for, and good for him, man.
What? Huh? What? Who? What? Huh?
There's a Weebo here.
What is a Weebo doing here? What?
Scribe, assert your dominance.
Right here on the air?
He's like, okay, put these on. You asked.
I don't know, Weebo. What are you wearing?
A corset, actually.
Are you now?
Yeah, actually, I'm getting ready to do side quests.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I actually, thank you for reminding me. I have to buy a new one.
Oh, are you busting out of the old one?
In a way, actually, yeah. No, these are not steel boned, so I got to get some nice steel boned ones.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, this is gonna start falling apart because these are plastic.
Oh yeah, plastic boning is no good. You want to get steeled, and of course, when steel boning, when the old corset starts wearing out, those things start poking into you. They are painful. I've seen the marks on. I've seen marks that I did not put there myself on female friends of mine in the past when a steel bone corset snaps in different places. No good.
So I have to invest in that. I think I'm gonna use some of my birthday money.
Oh yeah, how was the ultimate result of your birthday?
Oh, it was good. I went and took a nap after the stream was over, and I woke up and studied the rest of the night.
You studied what was it again?
Computer systems.
Computer systems.
Yeah, I'm the most exciting 21-year-old ever.
Well, you certainly were the other night.
Yeah.
I mean, you're being the dress-up doll for like 4 or 5 dirty old men.
I see you all
dirty.
as my older brothers / okay, no, it's not better, is it? It's not better.
I've been brother zoned.
Brother zoned.
Brother zoned. You can find that. You can find all types of stuff like that on Pornhub.
I've said stuff far too dirty to be a brother, sweetie.
Yeah, I know.
That's fair.
Same here.
You're a Pornhub brother.
Stop it.
Thank you, James Colley. She said bone. Duh. Yeah, bone. She don't like them plastic bones. She want them steel bones.
Well, yeah, because they start taking like the shape of however I slouch, and that's not what I want.
Yeah, the plastic's far too malleable. You want steel boning to keep you upright and straight and in form.
Steel boning.
That's right. You want steel. Don't
you want yourself a good steel boning, don't you, darling?
Weebo needs some good steel boning.
I'm gonna get some next weekend.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I will.
So you off to side quest now?
I got like 16 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So entertain me with scribbles.
Well, hey, since you're here, how about we do a Mad Lib?
Oh, since I'm here, you shouldn't have. Pull it out.
Yeah, I don't think we've done Mad Libs with Weebo before, have we?
I love Mad Libs.
All right. Well, then,
I'm so good at them.
Let's see. Which one shall I pick? Which one is not one that we've done before? Okay, how about this one? Oh, it's a short one. Also, like Weebo. Weebo.
Yes.
I need an adjective.
Gnarly.
Okay, interesting. Satsu, I need an Italian person's name specifically. Oh, wait, maybe we've done this one before. Oh, you know what? We have. I'm sorry. Let me go back.
I'm like Italian person. That don't ring a bell.
No, I believe we have. Okay, I know we haven't done this one. Let me start over. Okay, this is good. Sorry, Weebo. We'll start over again. Verb ending in ing.
Boning.
There you go.
Appropriate.
Now, Satsu, an adjective, your favorite.
Moist.
Okay. Monkey, a verb ending in ed. Not erectile dysfunction.
Fucked.
Fucked. Okay. Weebo, a noun.
Dirty towel.
Dirty tie.
Well, that's a bit more than a noun, but sure, why not? Satsu, you lucked out again. Another adjective.
Well, I don't know. Blue. Fuck it.
Right. All right. Monkey, a noun plural.
Whores.
I know. where that's going. Weebo, an adjective.
Spicy.
All right. Satsu, a verb ending in s.
Slaps.
Slaps. All right. Monkey, a noun.
Toe.
All right.
This is getting kinky.
Weebo, an adverb.
Oh boy. Loudly.
Ooh, Weebo didn't even need prompting or reminding of what an adverb was.
Well,
She's in college.
that doesn't actually help you, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Satsu, a verb ending in ing.
Destroying.
Oh, okay.
This
All
is
right.
gonna be great.
Monkey, a chemical.
Chloroform.
Oh boy.
Chloroform. Okay. Weebo, I need an adverb again, unfortunately.
Wildly.
Wildly. Satsu, I need a verb.
Man. See. Just fuck.
Fuck. Okay. Monkey, I need a body part plural.
Ooh.
Assholes.
Assholes.
There was
All
that
right.
lady that had two of them.
Yeah. Weebo, I need an adjective.
Blonde.
All right. Satsu, I need a type of material.
That's leather.
Okay. That works. And lastly, Monkey, I need a verb ending in ed.
Failed.
Ooh, all right. All right, so here we go. Superhero Almanac. Wolverine. Oh, God. Wolverine possesses a fast boning factor, an ability enabling him to regenerate moist or fucked areas of his cellular dirty towel. This grants him blue immunity to whores and spicy immunity to the fatigue whores generated by his own body. It also slaps his aging toe. Wolverine possesses loudly acute senses of sight, destroying, and hearing. Wolverine's skeleton was laced with chloroform, rendering his bones wildly unfuckable.
Usually the opposite.
Oh God! This gets bad. This gets even worse. He also has 3 assholes on each hand, which, until recently, were believed to be blonde chloroform.
Oh my god.
When the chloroform was removed, however, it was revealed that his assholes were leather, and therefore he must have been failed with them. The chloroform had laced these two, giving them the appearance of metal and rendering them wildly unfuckable as well.
Oh my god. Wildly
unfuckable. That was good. All right. That's going to take forever. Okay, we'll save that one for another time. Let me see if I can find a short one real quick. Because there's another superhero one, but it is a lot of words. I don't want to. Good God! I'm just picking ones that have like 20 fucking options in them. Something relatively something relatively short. Okay. Weebo, a verb ending in ed.
Snorted.
All right. Sounds appropriate.
Staple.
Satsu, a place.
Weebo's bedroom.
Yes,
Okay.
I am right there. How did you know?
Monkey, a noun.
Cock.
Weebo, a verb.
Jerking.
Satsu, a verb ending in ing. Also, so I'll say jerk for yours.
Okay, that works.
All right. Ing verb for you, Satsu.
Let's see. Peeling.
Peeling. Okay. Monkey, a noun.
None. N-U-N.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Weebo, a verb ending in ed.
Stripped.
Ooh. All right.
Stripper.
Stripped.
I see you stripped. Satsu, a place.
Ohio.
Okay. Monkey, a number.
422.
Okay. Weebo, a place.
Qatar.
Qatar. Okay. Interesting. Satsu, a noun.
A bong.
Bong. Okay. Monkey, another number.
1.
Weebo, a name of a person in the room. So presumably anyone here or anybody in the chat.
Let's see. Who do I want to pick on? Your boy Pat.
Your boy Pat. Okay. Satsu, a number.
420.
And Monkey, a number.
I feel like I've done this before.
You have.
69.
21.
21.
All right. And here we go. The title is A Man of Many Things. Once upon a time, there snorted in Weebo's bedroom a man named Cock.
A man named Cock. That should be a TV show.
That should be a Western. He was the jerk guy. He could jerk the night away. But then one day he got into an accident and lost the ability to jerk ever again.
Oh no.
Oh gosh, no.
He was peeling it when it happened.
Oh shit!
A nun came out of nowhere and stripped him.
Oh my god!
Wow.
He was in Ohio for 422 months to recover.
That's horrible.
Then he went to Qatar to become the first ever bong.
Okay.
But after 1 week, he was fired. He met
Aw.
your boy Pat. They then got married.
Oh.
Aw.
420 days later, they adopted 21 kids.
Oh, wow.
The end.
Whew.
Thank you,
I
man.
got to work overtime.
Thank you, Cryptic. Grew facial hair without telling anybody. It was my secret stash.
And with that, gentlemen, I should probably dip. I gotta find
Yep.
that mask.
All right, have fun boning.
That story was
Hey,
an
Weebs.
emotional roller coaster.
It was all over the place. Bye, gentlemen. Bye, Chad. I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wildly unfuckable Wolverine.
Wildly unfuckable.
That worked out way too well.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Anything else you guys want to mention or plug or anything else before we get into chat time?
Monkey, are you going to be good for the stream?
Yeah, it should be all right, man.
Okay, just want to make
I just
sure.
can't go late tonight because we're doing the little butt thing tomorrow. My son's girlfriend's birthday's actually tomorrow, and little butt's birthday's coming up this week, so we're celebrating at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So I got to be awake for that. So
Oh, is,
Right.
is this the big gift giving moment?
it is indeed.
Oh boy, I hope you get some video and or audio of that. Yay. All right. Well then, guys, we're going to move into chat time a little early. If you have questions, comments, complaints, conspiracy theories, if you would like to give to us your tax returns, just because you want to, put them in the chat now. If you've got questions directly for us, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements you'd just like us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should watch the show more often. Of course, I say that just about every time we do the show, so I never really explain what that is, unless they watch the chat, I suppose.
Mhm.
Thank you again, Cryptic. Weebo didn't put her hands upon my hip.
She said she needed to dip, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Mhm.
Red Fawn, who do you consider wildly unfuckable? Tess Holiday.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tess.
Really?
Satsu.
Hmm?
I wouldn't fuck you, dude. I love you, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. Probably anybody with a penis. They're wildly unfuckable for me.
RJ Bandsma, Scribe, like, got your Dr. Pepper, Dr. Scribe? Actually, no, I'm presently out of Dr. Pepper. I know, I'm committing a crime, but just didn't have any on me today. Celtic Mandalore, y'all know of a good way to get out of jury duty? Well, you could just not show up, but you could conceivably end up getting in trouble for that. I would just go. Like the last couple times I've had to go to jury duty, they ended up calling it early and just letting us go. So you might luck out and not catch a case, or you might catch a case that lasts all of a day. I don't know. Or you might get some crazy murder trial and get famous, sell your story. I don't know.
So either nobody has ever requested that I go to jury duty, or I just got like jury duty letters and just didn't go. It's one or the other.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not illegal not to get the letter. It's only illegal if you get it and you don't respond to it.
Right. Yeah. So if you got the letter but you say you never got it,
I'm not suggesting you do
Yeah.
that. If you want to get out of it completely, just when they start asking you questions, stand up and yell, "The judge is a whore."
yeah, that'll do it too.
Yeah, you might get in a little bit of trouble, but you won't have to serve jury duty.
Yeah, if during voir dire you just say, "Hang him," and it's like, but this is about a traffic violation. Hang him, then they'll let you go. Frank Hubbard IV, Scribe, do you do shibari? When I have someone to try it on, yes. I haven't done that in a couple of years though. So,
Dropping racial slurs is not illegal. You can do that during jury selection too.
That's true. Let's see. Question. I'm jumping down. Oh, chat jumped again. Adabisi, Satsu, what would you do if your girl had a sex change?
What would I do if she had a sex change?
Yeah.
Well, she'd have to consult me first. Like, I highly doubt that she would just leave and come back, like go to work and come back a man. There'd be steps before that. I wouldn't be okay with it.
Let's see. RJ Bansma says, Scribe, what's the dumbest soda flavor out there? Monkey butt beer?
Dr. Pepper.
Shut up. The dumbest? I remember there was like some soda company that would make Thanksgiving flavored sodas, except it was like, this soda tastes like stuffing. This soda tastes like green bean casserole. It was
gross.
It was just a novelty thing, just one of those sort of like seasonal, sort of like joke gift kind of deals. But those are the dumbest, as far as I know.
That's nasty.
Is there actually something called monkey butt beer?
Could be.
I wouldn't be surprised. I've heard of so many.
I used to sponsor titty beer.
Thank you, Cryptic. Satsu and Monkey is the modern day KC and Ho Ho.
Shut up.
Let's see. Chicago Mike says, favorite author? Well, my standard answer, at least of the books that I've read most consistently, is probably Harry Turtledove. As far as like fiction, like Harry Turtledove's alternate history stuff, World War, Guns of the South, good. As far as like true crime, you can't go wrong with Harold Schechter. Harold Schechter does some great crime books about turn-of-the-century killers and criminals and things. So if you want look up some good serial killer stuff, Harold Schechter. For fictional crime, you want to go with Donald Westlake and his Parker series. And I'll turn it over to you guys. Who are you guys' favorite authors?
Favorite author?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I always fall back on Bill Pranzini. He's the only one I read with any regularity. He writes the Nameless Detective novels I've talked about many times.
Right.
The only answer I could give is J.K. Rowling, because the only books I've read in full that I remember the author's name of is the Harry Potter books.
Well, there's no manga authors or anything?
Oh, I don't remember their names either.
Oh, okay. Cynical Lindsay says, you're about to be executed. What would be your last meal? Dr. Pepper and Goldfish.
Bring me a seafood buffet.
Monkey.
I would want to eat my weight in ramen just one last time. Nice steak.
Rambler, Scribe, may I DM you about Shibari? I have a question. Okay, I'm no Shibari expert. Okay, I've experimented a little bit with it. I had a pro dom show us in a class once how to do a little bit of it. So you're probably better off looking up a tutorial video on YouTube or something than talking to me about it. If you want to DM me, by all means. If I can't answer your question, I'll do my best. But I'm certainly not practiced enough to feel like I would be able to educate anybody on it. Chicago Mike says, Scribe, I'm in the middle of Devil in the White City and H.H. Holmes. Yes, well, that's not... Harold Schechter did a great H.H. Holmes book that focused just on H.H. Holmes and not the World's Fair that was going on around him. But Devil in the White City is a really good take on it. I'd still recommend, if you want an even fuller version of the H.H. Holmes story, look at Depraved by Harold Schechter. Just a crazy, crazy story. H.H. Holmes was a fucking supervillain of his time. Let's see. Cynical Lindsay says Jones Soda. Yeah, that's what it is. Jones Soda, Jones Cola. Yeah, they're the guys that do the Thanksgiving garbage. I mean, I know it's not meant to be drank and enjoyed. It's a joke, but still, it's like, why would you do that? Let's see. Nothing for you here. What do you think about the future of computing in terms of communication, entertainment, and artificial intelligence?
Wow.
Well, I'll just say that nothing that we're currently doing I would have ever imagined possible 20 years ago. So God knows where we'll be 20 years from now. That's my answer.
What do you mean? There's that is a big question.
Yeah.
Yeah, in relations to what directly? I mean, obviously it's going to keep evolving. I just hope I live to see the point where we get to the point to where VR is actually an out of body experience. Like it's no longer just like glasses on your face. Like your subconscious is actually put into another world. Like that would be fucking. I could die happily if we could get to that point.
Celtic Mandalore, best way to contain a couple gallons of booze while living at an apartment. Yeah, have 2 drinks each into several women at once.
I'm so confused by that. What happened to their containers?
Yeah, best way to contain a couple gallons. Are you
In
like
the bottle?
brewing your own, or are you gonna make some bathtub gin or something? I don't know.
Are you hiding it from roommates or?
Yeah. Pyrus Creed, Satsu, are you offended by the concept of time since white people invented it? Oh, I heard about this.
Incredibly.
Yeah, white people own time.
They didn't say white people invented time. It said that they use it as a tool of white power.
Oh, I
White
did see
supremacy,
something like
so.
that a few years back when they were saying that expecting black people to show up somewhere on time is racist.
Right.
This doctor, I think she's from Rutgers, just did not a TED talk, but a TED radio talk. And yeah, it's been all over the internet the last couple of days.
Cryptic, thank you. Satsu is a ghetto cowboy. Look into his Isaac.
I like that song, by the way.
I don't know that phrase, but Cynical Lindsay, I'm surprised there's never been a biopic on H.H. Holmes. Well, the rights to Devil in the White City were purchased, last I heard, by Leonardo DiCaprio's production company. They were supposed to make a movie about him several years ago. I guess it's still in development hell. However, there is a H.H. Holmes documentary by John Borowski. It's called H.H. Holmes, America's First Serial Killer. I think it might still be on Netflix. I know it was for a time. I bought a copy of it on DVD like when it was first released. But that was somehow that ended up in the hands of somebody that I don't talk to anymore, and I lost that, which is unfortunate because it was a collector's item to me. But anyway, yeah. So there's things out there about Holmes, but yeah, biopic. So far as I know, it's still in process. RJ Bands on Scribe, like, what's the dumbest thing you've done in the last year? It's probably work related, but I don't know. Maybe letting Irate Bear on here again. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Dean Koontz, Odd Thomas. I've never really read Dean Koontz. I've seen a couple of TV movies and such based on his stuff. I hear he's good in some instances. He's kind of like a sort of an offshoot of Stephen King in some cases, but never really read him. I know Intensity, the TV movie Intensity was great, but I don't know about the book. So let's see. Kara Zering, if you could go back and redo something from your past, what would you do differently? I think we had this question. I know we've had this question before. I don't know. That's always a tough one to answer because, it's like even the things that I regret in life, they still taught me something. They still, honed me into the person that I am. And as long as I'm happy with who I am, yeah, I've got regrets, but I don't know. Sometimes it's worth it to have a regret. Like, I was just talking about this the other day. So having a regret of like being at that crossroads where you could do X or Y and you chose the other way, especially those where, you could have done the thing you wanted to do, but it would have been the wrong decision. It would have been the thing that would have caused you more strife if you'd done it, even though it seemed like a really good idea at the moment, or you felt like out of lust or out of greed or something, but you didn't. Those kind of moments, you came to the precipice of something and you made the decision, the tough decision. Even, the easy decision would be X, the tougher decision is Y, even though it's the better one. I like those moments, even if I might regret, like, well, yeah, but you could have done this and the world wouldn't have ended. Yeah, but it's kind of a reflection of growing up a little bit, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I have a very easy one. I missed my doctor's appointment last month. I would have made that.
For me, it's always I wish I would have jumped on this YouTube thing back when I had the time and the energy to do so.
Oh, I wish I had jumped on it about 2 years sooner.
Yeah, when I was
apocalypse.
yeah, when I was really young, like it was go to school and play video games, and every now and then I'd take time to do some homework. But and on my days off, I would play the game from the moment I woke up in the morning till go to sleep, and only stop to eat or go to the bathroom. And I had all that time to fucking start a channel. I could have been fucking like way into the game and stuff. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos and stuff back then, but it never occurred to me that like some person out here is doing this. You know what I mean? It was always just like, I don't know where this shit comes from, because it was kind of no different than TV to me, just a different place to get it. But it just never occurred to me. And I'm so upset about that.
Thank you, Sarah Plyer. Please check Twitter. Yes, Sarah has tweeted out pictures of my mug and of Satsu's Lords of the Night t-shirt that she's purchased.
Oh, I didn't see that picture. Where was that at? Who was that?
It's on Twitter. I retweeted it, but she tagged you.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Orpheus Telos, Scribe, have you watched Game of Thrones or read A Song of Ice and Fire? No and no. I have a copy of A Song of Ice and Fire that an ex-girlfriend of mine bought me. I got about 5 pages in and lost interest. And I know Game of Thrones is like this amazing, tale, and it's Tolkien and its scope, and I don't know. Maybe I'll get into it someday. I just haven't yet. Let's see. Suicide Grunts of America. Scribe, favorite and least favorite MCU movie. Favorite, like I say, it's always a toss-up on any given day between Iron Man, the first movie, and Winter Soldier. Least favorite, knowing what I know of it, I would probably say Captain Marvel, but having not seen it, I can't put it into the list. So least favorite would probably be Thor 2, The Dark World. I mean, it was just blah. There's a couple of good scenes in it, but blah.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Favorite and least favorite MCU movie.
My favorite's probably Infinity War, and then my least favorite. I didn't see Dark World, unfortunately, so it'd probably be
not unfortunate. You are not, unfortunately. Trust me.
That's hard, man, because I kind of liked all the ones that I saw, and all the ones that I felt like I wasn't gonna like, I didn't see, like Dark World. So I don't know.
Monkey.
My favorite is probably Iron Man, just hands down Iron Man. And for me, the original Captain America would be right up there with it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Infinity War, man, Part 1 was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Least favorite. Yeah, any of the Thor movies, except Ragnarok was okay.
I like the first one okay because it was okay. It's on the same level as the first Hulk movie. It's not awful, but it's okay. Thor 2 was an absolute garbage pile. It was, and that's in relative terms of all the other Marvel movies. If Thor 2 had been its own thing somewhere, it'd just be a mediocre movie. In the realm of MCU, the quality that was set with Iron Man and onward with Captain America, etc., Thor 2 is just the worst of the worst. Now, Captain Marvel might be the worst of the worst, but like I say, I haven't actually watched it, so I will set that aside. Everything that I've heard about it from people who know better, it's probably the worst. Fingers crossed that Endgame is at least as good as Infinity War. I already got my ticket. Let's see. Ebony Williams says, Lords of the Night, 2 ideal sides to a steak. 2 ideal side. So like side dishes. Green beans and garlic mashed potatoes.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with mashed potatoes or French fries, or I actually like broccoli with my steak.
A nice garden salad and a baked potato with the fixins.
Let's see. Rich O8181 says, does anyone here agree that Infinity Wars was shit apart from the end? Ooh.
What?
Ooh, Infinity War.
That was
great.
an excellent movie.
Now, I will say that Infinity War by itself doesn't have nearly the same impact if you have been following the movies up to that point. Okay. Infinity War, without the supporting structure of the rest of the MCU leading up to it, probably doesn't work as well. But that's beside the point, because the whole point of Infinity War is it's a giant bringing together of this legacy that's been going on for 10 years. It's still a good movie.
I think as long as you've seen Civil War, you're pretty much up to speed with most of it.
If you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and you've seen Civil War, you're mostly set. Yeah. If you just need like a real quick sort of Cliff Notes version of the Marvel Universe ahead of Infinity War, those 2 movies will probably set you up. But for me, who's followed this entire franchise from beginning to that point, all of it, all the little bits and pieces, all the characters, all the tie-ins meant so much more watching Infinity War after all that. So. And that was kind of the point. It was kind of a reward to people who have been following it for so long. And it was also just a really great movie because holy shit, they did. You want to talk about writing a good villain? Thanos is one of the best written villains, next to, I'd say, Heath Ledger's Joker, as far as like things go.
Is Thanos really a villain?
Well, that's the thing. You know, he came across like a Doctor Doom figure in a way. You know, he doesn't think he's the villain. He thinks he's the hero. He's insane compared to, normal people, but that was what made him such a great. Well, I'll take it this. He was the antagonist.
He's the antagonist.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that he's a villain. He's the villain of the universe because the good guys have to stop him. But I mean,
his motives were pure-ish.
His motives were absolutely pure.
Yeah. Thank you, Cryptic. Should I make a new roaming millennial?
Sure. Knock yourself out. Go find yourself a white girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. K. Rosarian, what is your least favorite side dish?
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
Raw sardines. I could think of some horrible things to have as a side dish. Oh.
I do not like the Brussels sprouts.
Adonis Bartolo. Will Monkey call my name?
Who said that?
Adonis Bartolote.
Oh. Adonis! How you doing, man?
Now, whenever it's like somebody says, call my name, I think of Never-Ending Story, where like the princess is saying, you have to say my name, Bastion, say my name. You know what her name actually is, even though you can't really hear it in the movie because the storm's going on?
No.
Moonchild.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds right.
I didn't know that until years later. Yeah, and years later I found out. And apparently that was the name of his mother, the one who died prior to the events of the movie or something, I guess. Like she was a hippie or raised by hippies or something. I don't know. RJ Bands with Scribe, what's the best comedy you've seen? The media with the Trump administration. No, best comedy I've seen. A sentimental favorite that keeps coming up in jokes my sister and I make to each other, Half Baked with Dave Chappelle. Half Baked is hilarious. It still is hilarious. I'm sure there are better comedies out there, but I love Half Baked.
I don't know as far as movies go. That's hard to decide. But the funniest anime I think I've ever seen is Konosuba. So if you like anime, go watch Konosuba because it's hilarious.
The funniest movie ever made
You'd say
is
Blazing
I'm Gonna
Saddles.
Get You, Sucker.
Oh yeah.
That movie is funny as hell.
Orpheus Tilo Scribe, have you seen the America Chavez comics? I've seen them. I wasn't particularly jazzed when they sent her back in time to push Captain America aside to punch Hitler instead of him. Which no, they did that.
Were they trying to make Hitler laugh instead?
No, see, America Chavez is like super powered.
She's still a chick, man. She hits like a girl.
Yeah, well, she hits like a girl with superpowers.
Yeah,
pushing aside Captain America to be the one to punch Hitler instead in some kind of like quasi retcon. Yeah, I didn't appreciate that. Otherwise, no, I haven't actually read. I think I flipped through a comic book or two, like when I was at a bookstore, but I haven't read them. So I do know that the creator of the character did a TEDx talk a couple of months back, or at least their TEDx talk was posted a couple of months back, and I briefly thought about doing a video on it, but aside from the fact that she obviously had a social agenda she was pushing, she was just talking about the character and I was like, whatever. Mr. Monopoly Scribelight, have you seen Bumblebee? The movie? No. I haven't seen a Transformers movie since I think I bothered to see the second one, but I haven't watched a Transformers movie since. I've heard that it's better in some ways, at least as far as how the Transformers are embodied than the other movies, but I've also heard that it's not that great a movie because the characters have no goal. Like Bumblebee and the girl, they're not doing anything. They're just sort of reacting to stuff. I watched a video essay about the merits and flaws of Bumblebee, like an actual essay, not one of those CinemaSins things, and pointed out a whole bunch of stuff that I found like, yeah, okay, they tried, but it missed a few things with character development. Let's see. Brown Coat Bows. Scribelight, I've liked the video a half a dozen times and it keeps going away. YouTube is being stupid. Just a heads up. Like this video? Like the stream?
YouTube, fix your shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that happens from time to time on streams. It did it to, I remember I Rate Bear's stream one time that I was on with him. Yeah. People pointed it out and I went, YouTube can't find any problems, y'all.
Maybe refresh the page. I don't know. Claxton Bayer, have any of you played the PC game System Shock or its sequel? I have not. I know I've heard lots of people say it's a great RPG and everything. I've never played it.
Me neither.
No, I wasn't playing PC games when, or I wasn't into those games when System Shock came out.
Celtic Mandalore, is there a tale you'd like to see be told that hasn't been told in games, movies, or books?
Where would we have heard the tale?
Like a news story or something. I don't know. Something from history, maybe. Tale that hasn't been told.
The eternal struggle of a black YouTuber who has 3 YouTube channels and is trying to be relevant. Make a movie out of that.
I don't know, because most of the stories I see, well, I mean, we read them on the air or something, but yeah, I'm not sure.
I'd like to see a biopic on Junior Seau.
Oh, okay, that's a tragic story.
It really is.
Yeah. Captain Brambles, Ranting Monkey, next time you have a rant, could you do it in the voice of the preacher from Coming to America?
Oh, God, probably.
Wow. Let's see. Anna Mangold says, Moonbase, the movie. Well, that's not quite a tale yet. Like, if we actually do end up building a moon base, there should be a movie about building the moon base or a documentary.
It could be a fictional tale of it.
Yeah, but that's not like a... I don't want a fictional tale about Moonbase. I want Moonbase first and foremost. I can watch movies about fictional Moonbases all day. That doesn't help me with Moonbase.
It could be a fictional tale about your Moonbase.
But I don't want a fictional tale about my moon. I want Moonbase. Frank Hubbard, Scribe, will you be watching Nosferatu? I don't think I'm subscribed to whatever service you can see it on. And I don't know what little I know about the story. It's weird Stephen King stuff. I don't know. I like vampire stuff, obviously. I'm not quite sure if that one's up my alley or not. I'm hoping that they make a movie or a TV, actually a series would be better for The Lesser Dead. It's a great novel, a great vampire novel, just came out a couple of years ago by was it Christopher Beelman? I think his first name's Christopher. Yeah, but I just read it a couple months back. The Lesser Dead. I highly recommend The Lesser Dead vampire novel. Really good. Let's see. Celtic Mandalore. Well, I was thinking a tale you thought of in your head, Scribe Light. Well, I've got several tales I would turn into a book or movie, but I'm not telling you because they're mine until I actually write them. I don't want to give it away. Let's see. Chicago Mike. Guys, do you like or play any simulator games like Flight Simulator? Not presently. Last flight simulator type game I played was when I bought TIE Fighter for like $3 off of GOG and played through that a bit.
I used to play sim games all the time, but not lately.
I love Flight Simulator. Flight Simulator X or 10 or whichever was X, I believe is what it is the first one I hadn't bought in a long time. But I've played from combat fighters to Microsoft to there's the American trucking game, which is a truck simulator. Yeah, I like all kinds of them.
Thank you, James Colley. There is a fictional tale of Moonbase. It's called Iron Sky. Yeah, there's Iron Sky. There's Space 1999. There's Moon. There's
no Scribe's Moonbase.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Make it a tale.
I want real Moonbase first. I don't care about the fictional thing.
Have you tried talking to the Chinese? They're trying to land on the moon. Maybe they'll do it for you.
They're spies, monkey. Shush.
Sarah Plyer says, Fat Pat liked my tweet, and she's real excited about that.
Oh, my God.
I've never seen her that excited when one of us have liked her tweet.
Oh.
That's hurtful, Sarah.
Three-sided coins of Scribe Light. One of my goals is I am saving up to fly on the Blue Origin Shepard suborbital flight. Would you fly on that? Oh, geez.
Hell yeah.
I guess. I'm not much of a thrill seeker in that regard, but that's one of those once in a lifetime kind of deals. Unfortunately, shouldn't be. We should already be having transits to Moonbase. That should have been built back in like 1988 or something, for God's sakes. Adam Ingold, Scribe Light, run for president to get Moonbase. Scribe Light goes to Washington. Here's to drink Dr. Pepper and get a Moonbase, and he's all out of Dr. Pepper. Let's see. Heroic Nico says, Scribe Light, I recommend Vampire Wars Battle for the Universe. Never heard of that. I assume that's a novel. Let's see. 3 minutes to go. Cynical Lindsay says, I imagine Scribe screaming like Grandpa Simpson, shouting Matlock, Moonbase! Yeah, I'll probably be as old as Grandpa Simpson by the time they even think about starting to do Moonbase, unfortunately. Celtic Mandalore says, I'm going to dip, y'all. I got apple pie hard cider to enjoy and some thoughts to get out of my head. My friends enjoy the rest of the night. Well, don't overdo it, Mandalore, but have a good night. Be safe. Stay at home. Don't try to drive. Heroic Nico says, it's a movie and a book. Okay. Vampire Wars Battle for the Universe. I don't know. It sounds a bit too overwrought for me. The Lesser Dead is about vampires in New York in 1970s or 78 or something. It's a great book. It's a great tale. Won't tell you anything about it. Don't want to ruin anything. It's really good. What else to see? Mr. Monopoly. Have you seen My Neighbor Totoro about the giant burping cats? I think I saw it once a long time ago.
Yeah, I've seen that.
See it, Satsu? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my anime exposure is very limited. It's like Evangelion, Trigun, Hellsing, Akira, Golgol 13, Doom Megalopolis, and Vampire Hunter D. That's all I can name off the top of my head that I've seen. And I've seen some Studio Ghibli or whatever. Ghibli movies. I saw Ponyo. I saw Howl's Moving Castle. I saw Princess Mononoke.
The last good anime movie I watched was Wolf Children, which was really fucking good. Wolf Children is an excellent kind of slice of lifey show, and it's got some supernatural elements to it, and it was really good.
The last good anime I saw was The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
And Circus Zero says, Ranting Monkey, Sarah Pliers squeed when you and Scribe followed her on Twitter.
Oh, Cirque, I'm just fucking with her.
Yeah, it's fine.
I love you, Sarah.
All right, guys. Well, that's the top of the hour and the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for joining us every night, as you always do. I cannot express how much we appreciate. I know I speak for Monkey and Satsu when I say we appreciate your guys turning out to see us every night.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for that. Thank you, moderators, for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the best behaved in the world. Mostly. I'm looking at you, Tailed Feature. Anyway, and everyone who donated, like I always say, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I'm very, very grateful for your generosity, and it'll all go towards horrible, horrible things for me to put into my body. Maybe. Aside from that, guys, remember tomorrow night, per usual, will be on Monkey's channel at the usual time. Shortly after this stream, over on 2 Cents Plus, you can watch Satsu and Monkey snipe some Nazis. As they run around Sniper Elite 4. And I think that's all the big stuff. Am I missing anything?
No.
Nope.
Oh, well, thank you, Satsu. That's lovely. So with that, guys, your lives make us sad. Oh, wait, I did it again.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good.
I did everything else, and I forget that one thing. My life makes me sad sometimes, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hi, guys.
Bye, guys.
Today's secret words are wildly unfuckable.